You cannot improve what you do not measure. You can deploy tools. You can define policies. You can invest in training. But unless you measure DevSecOps performance meaningfully, you will not know whether you are reducing risk or simply increasing activity. As a leader or architect, your responsibility is not to track every technical detail. Your responsibility is to ensure that metrics align delivery speed with risk reduction. This lecture is about how you measure DevSecOps success intelligently through KPIs, meaningful metrics, and executive level secure scorecards that reflect both agility and resilience. Why traditional DevOps metrics are not enough? DevOps traditionally focuses on metrics such as deployment frequency, lead time for changes, mean time to recovery, change failure rate. These are valuable. They reflect operational maturity and engineering effectiveness. But they do not tell you whether you are becoming more secure. An organization can deploy faster and still accumulate unpatched vulnerabilities. It can reduce downtime while increasing exposure. If you are only tracking speed, you are measuring acceleration, not safety. DevSecOps success must balance velocity with risk reduction. Before defining metrics, you must define intent. What does DevSecOps success mean for your organization? Is it reduced breach likelihood, faster vulnerability remediation, improved regulatory alignment, increased customer trust, reduced incident response costs? Your KPIs must connect technical indicators to business impact. For example, reducing average vulnerability remediation time is not just a technical achievement. It reduces exposure window and lowers breach probability. Metrics must translate into executive relevance. One of the most powerful leadership conversations is the balance between lead time and risk reduction. Lead time measures how quickly changes move from code commit to production. Risk reduction measures how effectively security controls reduce exposure. In immature environment, speed often increases while risk visibility decreases. In mature DevSecOps environments, lead time remains optimized while risk metrics improve simultaneously. You should aim for stable or improved deployment speed, decreasing high severity vulnerability backlog, reduce misconfiguration rates, fewer production security incidents. Velocity without risk reduction is instability. Risk reduction without velocity is stagnation. Your scorecard must reflect both. Vulnerability burndown is a powerful visual metric. It tracks the reduction of outstanding vulnerabilities over time. As a leader, you should monitor total open vulnerabilities, high and critical severity trends, average time to remediate, aging of unresolved vulnerabilities. If high severity vulnerabilities remain open for extended periods, your DevSecOps pipeline may detect issues, but fail to resolve them. Burndown charts reveal whether remediation discipline exists. Detection without resolution is false confidence. Security metrics fall into two categories. Lagging indicators reflect past events, such as number of security incidents, breach costs, compliance findings. Leading indicators predict risk posture, such as percentage of builds passing security gates, infrastructure code compliance rates, dependency update frequency, privilege sprawl reduction, secrets exposure detection. You must prioritize leading indicators. Waiting for incidents to measure performance is reactive governance. DevSecOps maturity is demonstrated by early detection and proactive mitigation. Secure scorecards aggregate security metrics into a leadership dashboard. Your scorecard should include build security pass rates, vulnerability remediation timelines, dependency risk trends, cloud misconfiguration rates, privilege access metrics, runtime anomaly detection rates, risk acceptance backlog. The purpose is not to overwhelm executives with technical detail. The purpose is to provide visibility into systemic risk trends. If leadership dashboards include delivery metrics but exclude security posture, you are creating blind spots at the highest level. Balanced scorecards enable informed decision making. DevSecOps is not only technical, it is cultural. You should measure developer participation in secure coding training, frequency of threat modeling sessions, security champion engagement, percentage of teams adopting standardized pipeline templates, reduction in security related rework. Culture metrics indicate whether security is embedded in engineering mindset. Technical controls without cultural adoption eventually erode. To ensure security is effectively embedded into CI/CD, monitor percentage of pipelines with integrated AS, IST and SCI, ISE scanning coverage across cloud deployments, secrets detection events, container image validation compliance, policy enforcement success rates. If some teams bypass controls, governance fragmentation occurs. Coverage consistency is a sign of maturity. Another important metric is risk acceptance volume and aging. Ask yourself, how many high-risk exceptions are active? How long have they remained unresolved? Are executives aware of significant exposures? Are compensating controls documented? If risk acceptance increases over time without remediation, governance discipline weakens. Transparency builds accountability. To make DevSecOps metrics resonate at board level, connect them to business impact. For example, reduce vulnerability aging, lowers breach probability. Faster remediation decreases exposure window. Secure architecture patterns reduce incident response costs. Strong supply chain governance prevents widespread operational disruption. When security KPI is aligned to financial and reputational outcomes, leadership engagement strengthens. Metrics must tell a business story. One risk in DevSecOps measurement is collecting too many metrics. Excessive dashboards create confusion. Confusion reduces focus. You should prioritize a small number of high-impact KPIs, clear thresholds for acceptable risk, trend-based analysis rather than isolated snapshots, regular executive review cadence. Clarity is more powerful than volume. Effective scorecards highlight systemic health, not isolated noise. Metrics are not merely reporting tools, they drive improvement. When you observe rising misconfiguration rates, increasing vulnerability backlog, declining build pass rates, you should investigate root causes. Is training insufficient? Are tools misconfigured? Are enforcement thresholds unclear? Are teams overloaded? Measurement without response is symbolic. Measurement with corrective action builds resilience. To assess progress, you can benchmark against industry standards, regulatory expectations, internal historical baselines, peer organization practices. You might evaluate maturity levels such as ad hoc detection, automated validation, enforced security gates, continuous monitoring with executive oversight, predictive risk analytics. Maturity is not static. It evolves. Benchmarking provides perspective and direction. What good looks like. In a mature DevSecOps environment, lead time remains competitive. High severity vulnerabilities decrease steadily. Remediation timelines meet defined SLAs. Security gates are enforced consistently. Dependency risk exposure declines over time. Risk acceptance is transparent and limited. Executive dashboards reflect balanced delivery and security metrics. Culture metrics indicate strong adoption. Success is visible and measurable. Ask yourself, are security metrics visible at executive level? Do you measure vulnerability burndown consistently? Is risk reduction trending positively? Are pipelines consistently enforcing controls? Is security performance part of leadership discussion? If you cannot answer clearly, your DevSecOps program may lack measurable direction. Measurement transforms intention into accountability. If this lecture has reshaped how you view DevSecOps performance, take the next step. Review your current dashboards. Identify where delivery metrics overshadow risk metrics. Introduce vulnerability burndown tracking. Align remediation SLAs with business risk tolerance. Create an executive level secure scorecard that reflects both speed and safety. Do not allow transformation to operate without visibility. If you found value in this session, subscribe to the DevSecOps for Leaders playlist, like this video, so it reaches more leaders and architects, and share your perspective in the comments. What metrics are you currently using to measure DevSecOps success? In the next lecture, you will explore how to balance speed versus security, and how leaders make risk-based decisions without compromising innovation.